Hello, my sweet dear magical friends. Welcome, willkommen back to the channel of channels. Watch Natalie. The blue moon of July 21st, 2024. Yes, the one that we're on, and it's currently playing out the rest of July. This is your update. It is intimately connected to the September 17th partial lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces. I'm Natalie, spelled N-A-T-A-L-E-E, and I will be taking us through the consciousness carousel that is the zodiac, opening up this energy so you know what to expect and how to modify your strategy now. If you have anything to say, please utilize the live chat box and the comment section down below to express yourself. Everything cool's on the Patreon, all the journals, all the downloads, all the guides, all the videos, all of the special videos that you do not get on YouTube ever, and including the videos that you get ahead of time before they get to YouTube. Patreon.com/𝚑𝚎𝚗𝚕𝚎. Okay, you guys, so today's video is going to be a little bit more advanced. I'm guiding my weekly astrology videos to be very, very, very basic so that anyone that doesn't even like astrology can click in and get a positive experience. But this video today is going to be for those of you, my golden oldies, or if you know more a little bit about astrology, or you're just interested in learning more and stretching, growing, expanding your mind in this way, then this is for you. There was a blue moon on July the 21st, just a little bit ago. This video, I looked back on something and it triggered a lot of bigger things. So I kind of am redoing my schedule for my production this last little bit. So this is much more current than it usually would be. So the 21st on Sunday, the full moon in Capricorn made this trine to not the moon itself, the sun in Cancer opposed the moon in Capricorn. The sun in Cancer made a trine to Neptune in the sign of Pisces. There's two parts of this. The first part is that this is a blue moon, which means that it's the second full moon in the same sign. Should be in the same month, but we're not going to be pedantic about it. It's a blue moon. It's still a blue moon. Doesn't matter if it's in, it really doesn't. I kind of slept on it. And why would I? And here's freaking blue. So it's a blue moon. It's special. It's very significant, especially because it's Capricorn. And we have so many big transitions and overhauling big life structures with what Pluto is doing right now, especially being toggling between Capricorn and Aquarius. So this full moon is really closing up the last month's full moon at the end of June. So the June 21st full moon in Capricorn was a milestone moment. That was like a big indication of a direction. And so this full moon and what we are playing out by the end of July, it's such a consequential time. Okay, very, very, very big, very consequential. So you have this, like, a full moon is always an illumination. It's always a moment of emotional truth where you really know where you stand with yourself about an issue, with another person. It's always like that, but it's even more so at the end of July because we have this energy again in the same space. So these are big emotions where we need time. Number one, 2 months to feel about it. And then we also need perspective, and we also need, this is like freaking me out. I'm just so worried that it's not on. So we needed extra time. We needed 2 months, but then we also needed time to adjust and steer the ship and, like, you know, change direction accordingly with all these, like, developments and all of these big truths that are coming up to the surface. So the best way to look at this, so you had the full moon at the end of June. That was a milestone moment. That's what's telling us what we're wrapping up now at the full moon at the end of July. We're going to close this out completely September to November. So even at the end of July, we have this momentum. We have this, like, we have the momentum, we have the power, we have the direction. We basically have everything we need. This really is positive. This is all around positive. We had some very crunchy astrology to get through from the beginning of July, including Venus, Pluto, including Mars. Venus, Pluto was, let's see, that was the 13th, 8, 9, 10. No, that's like the 11th. That's when it went exactly. We had Venus, Pluto, Thursday the 11th. That could have been gnarly. We had Monday, the 15th of July, the Mars-Uranus conjunction. People almost lost their heads, but they didn't. So yeah, so then Mercury entered shadow. So you know, it certainly has been quite exciting, hasn't it? So now this is the moment. This, like the end of July, like this is, I know I said it in the weekly overview, but for those of you that are feeling extra potent, that's why. That's why. It's because it is. The energy absolutely 100% is extra potent. So this is what we're going to do as an exercise for you. We're first going to go back to June and toggle and trigger some memories. I want you to get out your phones, your tablets, your emails, you know, pause the video, come back when you've got all of these things ready, get your pad of paper and your pens or pencils. Okay, I'm going to use myself as an example because it's fun. So for me, the June 6th new moon in Gemini, that was the day I was told I got to wait a year for my marketing office. Okay. I had at that point, I had been full force, like full force into this other business, into this marketing office and growing my team. And all this, I'm like, okay, the whole point is to open your office in a year. The whole point is it to be like this lucrative passive income revenue stream, like an asset that you can set up in like a relatively short amount of time. Like that's the whole point. So I was like, wow, okay. My whole plan, I was gonna, you know, do this marketing office, make my movies, like there was like a whole little plan in my head, right? And so that's when I was like, wow. So on one hand, I know better. I know better from being a Capricorn and learning through lessons and experience and wisdom and cultivating knowledge, like all these, like I know all the things, and I'm an astrologer, like psychic, like on one hand, like I know better already to always champion truth, love, integrity. You know, I had a whole team of big, you know what? I'm gonna show this. Go to Mojo. Let me show you right now. This big old team of people I'm responsible for. I mean, you think about it, people trusting me with their careers. People have dreams. People have families. And I'm not going to, I'm a great leader. I'm not going to lead people into failure. I'm not going to let someone walk out unprepared or let someone go out, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I had a whole feeling, I had a whole like responsibility thing, like as a, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. You looking at me? Where is it? Oh, it's backwards, but okay. My team, and I had like people in the pipeline, like I had all kinds of I had all kinds of like people in the pipeline that were waiting to be on my team. They're trying to like, we were doing it. I was crushed. I was not prepared for that. I wasn't prepared for that. So, but like I said, I know better, and I know the astrology. I know my chart. I know all of the things. So life continued to June the 14th. That is when we have the first quarter moon in Virgo. So really interesting and strange. Legend. So Legend's, I don't know, the lead for the, I don't know, his music video, she dropped out or something, get a call, show up in a black or red dress at this place. Like, so I had to like not stand in, but I just had to, I was like the music video girl, you know? So it was so I was like, thrust back into acting. I was on camera. I was like it was all very last minute. It was very unexpected. It was very oof. I was like, ugh. And then it was cool because it was like the spotlight overhead, and it seemed like black and white. Like he was all in like grays and blacks and everything. I had the black dress. I chose black over red. And then in the video, like in the imagery, like the blue hair like really popped. Like it's just, so it's like black and white ish, and then like the blue pops. So I was like, whoa, that's cool. So it was fun. It was creative, and it was like just random though, very, very unexpected. That was the quarter moon. Then life moved forward to June the 21st, the Capricorn full moon, the first one. This is where the full moon, June 21st, T² Neptune. So we're finishing up something at the end of July that's like not what we thought. It's not what we hoped for. It's not what we thought we wanted or whatever. And it's like confusing, and it's very, I mean, it could be mystical and spiritual, and that was definitely the July lunar cycle was definitely heavier on like the telekinesis, especially with my relationships with other telekinetics. But back in June, so yeah, at this time the full moon was T-squaring Neptune, and that's when I really accepted it, because those 2 weeks, you know, like I said, I wasn't prepared for that. I wasn't prepared to really just like stop, which is what I had to do, because like I said, I'm a responsible leader. I'm never gonna bring people in and have a team and like lead them into something that they're not, that, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just not gonna do that. I'd rather not do it if I can't be the best leader and lead everyone to ultimate success. That's what I'm here to do. That's my thing. Like everyone's here like to do the thing, do a thing. And it's not just one thing. We have like many things that we're here to do. But that's like one of my things, is be a good leader. So anyway, you know, I love my team. I love my friends. We're great. Anyway, the full moon was really me practicing acceptance, because I had a guy. I was counting on my guy. I'm like, my guy's going to come through, and we're going to come back, and the band's going to be back together. The team's going to be back together. Like, I was just really like, oh, something's going to like change, you know, someone's going to do the right thing. Someone's going to like speak the truth. Someone's going to, you know, step up, and like, you know, like me being very idealistic. That's what it wasn't meant to be. It never happened. The full moon came and went. I accepted it. Okay, it's going to be a year. But look at where we are now. It's like the end of July, 2 months down, 10 more to go. So I accepted it. Then life moved forward to the quarter moon, June the 28th, the last quarter moon. I really had to scrape and dig for something like in my camera roll and my texts and emails. Like, I really couldn't find a lot. All I really found was, oh, it was Legend's birthday. So I shared the fire of knowledge that is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He's like my general on my team. So that's another thing I loved. I love sharing knowledge, but like, I love, like, that's like, you know, empowering. So for me, looking back at my June lunar cycle, it looks like leadership. It looks like acceptance. It looks like staying open-minded. It looks like creativity, and it looks like sharing. It's like sharing knowledge. So these are some of the things that me personally, I'm going to be focusing on really imprinting and just growing and expanding the energy of it the last bit of July. So there's also my July lunar cycle. I'm going to incorporate those things too. But this is really about also wrapping up that end of last month's, the end of June's energy. So really, really look back at how you felt, what you thought, all of these things. So like I said, for me, that was like that T-square to Neptune. It was disorienting and confusing and like deflating and a letdown and all this stuff. I had to practice acceptance, la-di-di, la-di-da. But, you know, like I said, I am a seasoned pro at this whole thing. Like I said before, or like around the time, it's not a no, it's not right now. So if you also had anything that kind of fell through at the end of June, it's just a delay. It's not a denial. Okay. So, and then some fun little things in July. I just wrote a couple little notes. My new moon and my quarter moon and my full moon, like, it's a lot of telekinesis. It's a lot of healthy stuff. It's a lot of like rich relationships where it's like, I just love like what I'm sharing with my people, and, you know, just writing. I'm, you know, film making stuff. I'm looking at like, what's my Buffalo? I've been watching Buffalo 66. I'm like, what's my Buffalo 66? Christina Ricci is just like, just love her. Always loved her. In that movie too, I have a pair of shoes that are kind of similar to her shoes that she wears in that movie. Okay, I'm done. All right. So look back to your life. And for my patrons, another reason to get on the Patreon, my patrons have so many journals, all the digital downloads. Go back to your June 𝚑𝚐𝚗𝚎 astrology journal, what was going on. That is intimately connected to what we are finishing up, wrapping up at the end of July. And it is intimately connected to September the 17th partial lunar eclipse in Pisces. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so hold that in your consciousness. You've got that Like, okay, that's what June was about for me. That's what was going on in June. You have those dates, you have your infos, you have your notes. So here we are at the September 17th partial lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces. So, okay, you've got this energy where you've got the moon at 25 degrees of Pisces opposing the sun at 25 degrees of Virgo. Now, it's 25 degrees, like in some middle minutes. You can round up, you can say in the degree, I'm not going to say it doesn't matter, whatever you want. Okay. So for instance, there's asteroids, there's degree theory, there's Iranian astrology. There's so much out there that you just go with what you're guided towards, and that's the right thing for you. So, but don't worry about it. Don't like worry that you're missing out on something. If you're drawn to it, go for it. And you're going to get stuff. You're going to get downloads and things like that. And it's going to be great. I just don't want you to feel like you're missing anything. Like the asteroids, like I pay attention to some of these points and things and stars, fixed stars, you know, if they're in your natal chart and stuff, but you don't need them. You don't need them to make predictions. They do add a lot of colorful flair though to the predictions, but don't like let yourself get overwhelmed, especially if you're just starting to learn astrology. The first thing you should be getting into is knowing your big three, your sun, moon, and rising sign. So you can go to astro.com, plug in your birth date, time, and information. That's something that you will need your birth time. So if you're watching the weekly videos, I only put up the chart for people's sun signs because that's something everybody knows immediately. Okay, now we're at, again, like I'm trying to inarticulately get us to the September 17th partial lunar eclipse in Pisces. 25 degrees of Pisces conjunct. It's sandwiched right between Saturn at 15 degrees of Pisces retrograde and Neptune at 28 degrees of Pisces retrograde. This is so dreamy. This is an emotional fulfillment. This is like the cup overflows. My cup runneth over. Okay. So this is a very big peak of emotional fulfillment and emotional fullness and like just like big energy and it's not overpromising. Okay, it's not overpromising because there's this grand Earth trine also happening. Pluto's in Capricorn, which is also a big thing right now. Pluto in Capricorn, 29 degrees, makes a trine to Uranus at 27 degrees of Taurus retrograde, making a trine to the sun at 25 degrees of Virgo. This grand Earth trine keeps everything stable and grounded. So it's real. It's really, really real. Whatever you're feeling, it's very concretized, it's very materialized, it's very manifested. Like for instance, I got super like over optimistic with, like I overread into the Pisces party. When was that? That was like a couple years ago. I really thought that was going to be when we would have like the astrology rush, like the one that I'm thinking of. Like there was that one 2019, 2020, but the one this is like the big, that was great momentum, but there's going to be like a critical mass, like tipping point. That's why I'm saying like, if you do astrology, if you're learning astrology, all the things, of course, keep etiquette, you know, even if it's something that anyone can Google, but it's a lot of research and hours that people put into this. So please be very respectful and ask your astrologers for whatever they say, do that. But I overread into that Pisces party stuff. I thought that was going to be it. And what did we get? We got the 𝚑𝚊𝚗𝚎 trial. That's what it was. That's we got stars in litigation. That's what we got. Anyway, but that's not this. That's not this. That Pisces, whenever we have a whole bunch of Pisces energy, that's like the big emotional fulfillment, or that's like chasing, you know, a dream that's not real, or being unrealistic, or you know, hoping for the best, but not having a realistic reason why you should be expecting the best. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's very like, oh, you know, so, but this one's going to be great. This one's going to be great. So for instance, the end of June could have been like that with the T² to Neptune. It could have been like womp, womp, womp. And we're finishing that out. We're closing it up. There was that was a milestone. That was a milestone that determined, you know, which actually because I was going so full force into that, I didn't have time for anything else. I wasn't practicing telekinesis as much as I'm doing like 2 hours a day now. So I definitely was not doing TK 2 hours a day back then, like over those months. And then I was also not writing a lot. Like I wasn't doing a lot of screenwriting. So one of the things that helped soothe me after that was writing, screenwriting my scripts, and hanging out with my friends, and like, but it was like guiding us towards where we're really meant to be. So, and in the right timing, with the right people, in the right circumstances, with the right integrity, you know, all the things. So the eclipse, this full moon eclipse, just honestly is a chef's kiss. A chef's kiss. So you want to look at the Pisces area of life and look at June and July, because that's the area of life where you can make the best of it. You can still turn things, you also want to look at the Capricorn area of life. You can turn things around, make the best of it, and you're going to be able to access that kind of benefit if you hold firm to some kind of moral code. Okay, virtues for me, for the 𝚑𝚎𝚗𝚎, for the patron, it's truth, love, integrity. It's simple. I keep it super, super simple. So when you are honest with yourself about that and you stay in alignment, then you can really use astrology like the very best. Otherwise, it could be a horrible ego trap. Astrology, a horrible ego trap, and people spiral and they slide out. I've been seeing people fishtailing, like they're on ice, like driving on ice and fishtailing, because they can't handle their stars. I'm kidding. Maybe we could do something like that, guys, astrologers. Is that a thing? Is there already an expression like that? Can't handle their stars. They can't handle their cosmos, whatever it is. So, so yeah, this is, like I said, a lot to handle, and the momentum has been coming and just adding on since 2008, in the aughts, and an 𝚑𝚑𝚎𝚎. So on one hand, it's big for power, but it's only going to take you as limited as you are. With Neptune, with the beliefs and with the integrity of Capricorn, with, you know, these, I'll blend it. I'm going to blend it. All right, let's go. Let's go ahead. Let's start. Aries, hey guys, welcome into your end of July blue moon, September 17th eclipse, weird little whatever video this is. Okay, so the end of June and the end of July, there's something really big happening in the career space, or with your parents, with authorities, with VIPs, and it's very intimately connected with your mental health, your psychology, your spirituality. Ugh. And I feel like, hold on, let me get my little curtains better. Your spirituality, there we go. And for you, Aries, this could be where it's important for you to see where and how you self-sabotage professionally, in your marriage, and possibly with family members or in your home life, or how you may have allowed ancestral karma or unhealthy emotional patterns to undermine your success. Okay, so for you, what I would say, you know, the eclipse, we're going to start, you're finishing up the eclipses in your sign. So this is such a big moment of development for you. Like this is about Aries for a year and a half for all of us in that area of life. And you're in the Aries consciousness. So this is about being a thought leader. It's about being independent. It's about being the pioneer, but it's about self-love, self-respect, and purity of action. So with Aries, I have my Mars in Aries. I love Aries energy. With purity of action, we want to do something, or we want the thing, like the moment we feel it, think it, see it in our minds, and it's just like pain until we can like actually do it or have it or get it or eat it or taste it, whatever it is. So for you, you're very susceptible to spinning out because of the Pisces influence. You're super subconscious. So you could be thinking and speaking and acting with a cognitive dissonance, like outside of your conscious awareness. So for you, Aries, it's going to be tricky because you really want to dive into something that'll take you into your subconscious so that you can root out and figure out what this is. Or you can do what I do, which is I do it from the reverse. I I don't do this like consciously. This is how it just happened, like in my life, like in my like growing up in life, is I would spin out of control, I would spiral out, I would wipe out, self-sabotage, and I work backwards. So I start at the bottom. I start at my rock bottom. I'm like, how did I get here? So for you, if you have that moment, Aries, where it's professional, I don't like my career. How did I get here? Or if it's your home life, I don't like my living situation or my family dynamics. How did I get here? Or, you know what I'm saying? The answer's in your subconscious. I love you guys. You should be on the Patreon because you're going to need as much information energetically in advance as possible so that you do not spiral out of control and self-destruct. Love you guys. Thank you so much for taking up the mantle of the Aries consciousness. I appreciate you. It's the Moo-Moos. Hey, Tauruses, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Welcome, welcome to your end of July blue moon, Pisces lunar eclipse, whatever this is. Okay, so June and July for the Taurus is such a big deal for you guys because you are the most unpredictable right now. And if you are not open to change and growth, then you're probably feeling like life is just like spinning out of control. And you're like, oh, like people are not behaving the way you want them to. Life isn't showing you, you know, like you're feeling like a little like tension and discomfort. So for you, this really has to do with your integrity and self-honesty about your belief systems. This also has if this is more mundane, this could be issues with foreigners or traveling, any kind of mind expansion, any kind of learning or schooling, visas, anything like that. But what it really is about, like the heart of it, is your life perspective, how you see the world, how you see other people, how you see your life. So it's almost like June and July. And the Pisces energy is your friendship house, friends, groups, associations, allies, but also dreams and goals. So for you, Taurus, you're having a little bit of an issue when it comes to, are you dreaming big enough? Because if you're feeling, okay, so all the earth signs right now, like we should be the most stable, except for you, Taurus, because of what I just said. But balancing the energy, it really depends on your attitude. Like if you're really resisting this and you're just like holding on to your worldview for dear life, it's crashing. It is a tower moment. It is a crisis. If you're the Taurus that has not been open to change and growth, then June and July are crises months for you. And it's snowballing into like a freaking, you know, so, but I still wouldn't, even if that's you, I would not even worry about, even if that's true. I've survived catastrophes. All astrologers that you see, that you've seen, we all have. That's why we're here. Okay. So it's okay. But the end of July, this full moon with a trine to the Pisces energy. So it's like the confusion or the letdown or the bubble bursting or letting go of a friend or a disappointment in the friends or letting go of a dream, letting go, you know, whatever that was for you in, or just not seeing something clearly in June. At the end of July, there should have been mental healing. There should have been like a healing conversation, or there should have been maybe a relationship improves with a sibling, or something should be giving you some kind of like reason to be optimistic. Or there could be a new friend, or reconnecting with an old friend, or something nice. We'll just say something nice, something nice. Your September 17th lunar eclipse is potentially very exciting for Tauruses. I'm happy to say that sun in the 5th house, like, oh, happy. And you guys having the eclipses here, you know, that's gonna feel nice. It's probably gonna be nice. So this first one, kind of ushering it in, you're gonna be finishing up such an emphasis on your subconscious and your self-sabotage the last year and a half. You've had to dig through all of this stuff. And so this is your first little taste of your new future. So I think for Tauruses, it's not what you expected or what you planned on. Like with me in my June full moon example, it's not what I thought, it's not what I planned on. But I think you're going to be happier. I think you're going to be happier with, like, however this is that it works out. Something is, you're changing your business and you level it up and it does even better. You're changing your, but it's really your worldview. It's your world outlook. So that's why I like the Grand Earth trine for you in the middle and like September 17th, Taurus, because it's like you're more comfortable with seeing the world differently. It's like a bit more of like a relief, or, you're not so pessimistic or something. So I see something making you happy. So thank you, Taurus, for taking up the Taurus mantle of consciousness for this time. I appreciate you. Hello, my lovely Gemini, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Welcome to your blue moon Pisces eclipse forecast. So, my lovely Gems, last month you had this really it's even bigger for you. This was the June. This is a little bit more sensitive for you guys. Like, you guys really are impacted bigly, because last month at the end of June, that full moon was T-squaring the Pisces area of your life, which is your 10th house. So for you, Gemini, this full moon at the end of June was a T-square to your 10th house of career. So there was something that was not sitting right with you professionally. Your bosses were difficult to get a hold of, or you couldn't get through to them, or they were giving you the runaround, or they were outright deceiving you about something, obfuscating information. Or you could have just felt general anxiety, or like just confusion of like career direction. Like, well, where am I going to go from here? Or like, well, what now? Or, like it could have just been like, oh, that's weird, and with the opposition happening with the financial axis for you, this ropes in a lot. This brought up something maybe awkward or difficult between you and either other people, or you and one other person, or a couple other people, when it comes to your money, your values, their values, what you think should be done, what they think should be done, what you have the power to finance or purchase, what they have the power to finance, purchase, or pull back from you, because you have the Capricorn 8th house over here. So some gems could have seen like a withdrawal of support. Or you could have done that too, as it like played out. But whatever this is, it's like, it was like, oh, no, this is how I thought, So I don't know how long that's been on my face. I've been trying to get better about looking at my face more, like during the day, because I do my face in the morning, and then like I just don't look at it the rest of the day. I don't like do the touch up, so I have to get better at that. Okay, so where were we? Gemmies. Okay, so yeah, it was very, very confusing. But the September 17th. Okay, so the end of July, this full moon that you're in and that you're gonna want to keep cleaning up made a trine to the Pisces area. So there should have been at least something encouraging about the end of July when it comes to your values, your self-esteem, your money, your physical money, or your reputation, or these relationships that we're talking about. It may not be what you expected or like same format, but at least it's kind of like encouraging. As the full moon, the 21st of July, and as it plays out over these next couple of weeks, could be kind of encouraging. And then the September 17th full moon lunar eclipse, partial lunar eclipse, is lighting up your professional sphere again, but in this time, really, really nice. Like there's something like sparkly and glamorous with Geminis. And I really like that for you, because it looks like there's something about June. So June was like, okay, that's weird. And then the end of July was like, Okay, like because it wasn't just the full, like the sun trining, like that was one little aspect. We had to get through the Venus Pluto, we had to get through all the Pluto oppositions, we had to get through the Mars Uranus. So it's like by the time you got to the full moon, this is really like this deep emotional truth and awareness, even more emotional for you, Gemini, because the sun's in your fourth house in September. But the end of July, the emotional truth was so deep with with the Capricorn like consciousness. Like it's something about the end of July. It's a very big weighted emotional truth that if you can be honest with yourself about how you feel, and if you can be honest, Gemini, about the truth of your relationships, the real give and take, the real reciprocity. This is like you can like someone. No, this is like where you can love someone but not like them. Can you be honest with yourself about that? Can you be honest with yourself like, okay, I love this person to pieces, but I cannot trust them to handle this. Or I love this person and I'm going to help them, but I don't like them and I don't want to be around them. Like I'll help them, but like from a distance. You know what I'm saying? Like, or are you going to be like all in? This is my guy. This is my girl. This is the one. I'm full in. You make that decision. And with astrology, it's decisions. It's like, okay, I'm not even getting into that tangent, but so this eclipse for you at the very end, I like it because it's almost like if you were able to be honest with yourself at the end of July, and if you do this big wrap up where you're like, okay, whatever showed me that it wasn't what I thought it was at the end of June, you could make the better difference. You could still, and this is why I'm doing this video now, at the end of July, you can still do your best to turn things around and get on the better path or get on the right path or make the correction. Because like I said, these June 21st was the milestone. We're wrapping this all up end of July, more big emotional truths. And then we're closing out the final transitions, September to November of this year. Okay. See, then it'll just be a couple months to my office. I'm just kidding. All right. So, where were we? So I see this. So if you can do that, then I see you having a great September 17th eclipse. The grand Earth trine it's all in all of your psychic houses. So I feel like you're in much of a better balance when it comes to what you share with other people and your connections and your professional alliances and professional associations. Like I feel like you just like had to really see things June and July so that you can make these changes and then set yourself up for like a I love you, Gems. Take good care. Appreciate all you're doing in the Gemini sphere of consciousness. Appreciate you. Sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Welcome to your blue moon Pisces lunar eclipse video. Okay, so look at June and July and definitely listen to my overview in the very top of it because I am a Cancer ascendant. So you could have gone through some very similar things or similar themes thematically that I went through and that you can see some parallels. And that's going to help you kind of like understand, ingest, internalize, strategize, and do your thing. Okay, so June's new moon was in Gemini, our 12th house of secret sorrow, self-undoing, the full moon. This is very big for us because these are relationships. And this is the time of year every year where the relationships come under the microscope. And then in August, it's always like for me, that's always when I make like the most money of my year. It's like in August, like it's just, then it always moves into like our financial access. And so it's like, this was very big about relationships. So in June, I saw my relationships with the colleagues and professional sphere trying to do marketing, that was my plan, do a marketing office in a year. And then that was like my passive income stream, my asset to set up and make my movies and do my filmmaking and like, you know, so those relationships, not all of them, not all of them. Some really came through, some fell apart. So June was big for us with relationships, and the T square to Neptune in the 9th house. Womp, womp, womp. Not what we thought. Not what, like I said in the overview, I'm like, man, I had my guy. I was hoping my guy would bring us back and get us going again. And like, you know, it was, but nope, did not happen. Was not meant to be at that time. So if you had any relationships fall through, especially with publishers, marketing, it's our 9th house, publishers, marketing, foreigners, teachers, gurus, guides, it could have been that, because like I said, I had relationships that, like, this is emotional truth. So some relationships really stepped up to the plate. They rose to the occasion. I got you. I got you. And then other relationships dipped. Other relationships were like, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya. So, you know, whatever, it doesn't have to be, don't stick it to just like, you know, just look at what happened. Look what happened in your life, how you're seeing people differently. And, you know, the Neptunian energy, the confusion, I always tell people, like when you see a transit coming up, try to be positive, where it's like, maybe it'll be better than I thought. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. So it could have gone both ways with different relationships in June. July, the end of July's full moon in Capricorn, this one made the trine from the sun in Cancer energy to the Pisces energy. So this is another bigger, deeper, fuller emotional truth about our relationships. And it's almost like, I felt it really big and strongly that like the weekend of the full moon, I'm like, everything's great, everything's great, everything's great. But I felt something missing, man. I felt, and I couldn't, I ate, I drank water, I exercised, I did TK, I wrote my screenplay stuff. I did that, but something was still missing. And so I had to connect with a person. I had to, you know, text someone, reach out, get on the phone, do a FaceTime. And I was like, okay. And I felt such a big difference. And guys, I'm loner 101. Okay. I'm like, I don't have a big social tank that needs to be filled. But I've been blessed with friendships and friends and meeting people. And like, I've been blessed lately after a lifetime of having such difficulties. So, you know, friends come through, people come through, but this sun making the trine is very encouraging in terms of being sensitive enough to be tuned into faith and belief and hope. And so whether this is that you have a guru that you trust and believe in, or that you have a teacher that you trust and believe in. I've got 2 great teachers that are teaching me things. So, you know, it could be a teacher, a guru, guide, mentor, marketer, yoga instructor. That's what I'm trying to say, like trying to think of. So anyone like that could be really, really helpful in helping you fill your cup. And at the end of July, you want to, it's just relationship stuff, cleaning up relationships. Now, the September 17th eclipse that we've got is a beauty. It really is, Cans. It's in the 9th house with Neptune and Saturn, and it's opposing our communications, mental health. This is like a mental healing, but bigger than a mental healing. This is like world perspective healing. There's something that's like, okay, so what you got to do now at the end of July, and I told my mother this, she's a Cancer ascendant just like I am. This is like Morpheus at the end of Matrix 2, when the machines are eating through the walls. They've already been like eating through all, and they're messing everything up, and they're literally about to like get Morpheus and Jada Pinkett Smith. I forgot her name in the movie. And he's holding so firm. I don't know why I crossed my eyes. I'm sorry. He's holding so firm. He's like, Neo's going to make it. He's going to make it. And I don't know anyone else represented in film and television that has that kind of faith, that kind of belief. So I swear to God, you better believe in yourself. Okay? You better believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, but believe in Like, what is this? Like, what was this for you? What is it? What was it? What was it? Where was the belief busted? So for me in June, it was marketing. But where's the belief kind of blossoming at the end of July, which for me is telekinesis and my telekinesis teacher. And then at September, mid-September, that's going to be like, oh, baby, this was good. Oh, yeah. Grand Earth trines happening in your 11th house of friends, groups, associations, your partnership house, the people, the person, and then the 3rd house of communications. I don't care if this is business, platonic, friendship, familial, what else is there? Whatever else there is, but this is great. This is really, really strong, positive relationship energy. Especially when it comes to any kind of promotion, publication. That's very like mundane. I'm in my head, I'm like thinking of like, okay, this would be great with me and my TK teacher, right? So, but like, you can, you know, I'm gonna, no digressions in this video. Okay. So yeah, for you, Can-Cans, at the end of July, you need to be Morpheus and you need to, that man believed that Neo was the one, like, he just, even in the first Matrix, he was like, he knew. He knew. And sometimes the Oracle has to tell you something like that. Sometimes the Oracle's got to say, sorry, kid, you ain't the one. Maybe you have to realize, you know what? Fuck that. Fuck you. I am the one. And I don't need anyone to tell me I'm the one. Because you know what? The one doesn't get told they're the one. The one says they're the one. The one proclaims they're the one. So you're the one, Cancer. You're the one. I probably look so crazy, but I'm totally okay with that. You're the one. I believe in you. I'm cheering you on. I'm in your corner. That crazy little Natalie in your corner, okay? So I would say, and I listen to my own advice, just so you know, okay? So what I'm gonna do, okay, so also look at the July revelations of relationships for you too. Yeah. Because there's some Cancers with the Medusa energy, Mars, Uranus, the 15th. That was in our 11th house of friends, groups, and associations. So that could have been a hard moment for friendships. There could have been some losses there. So, you know, deep wounding and then hard energy. That could have just also been difficult for you on social media or posting on social media and like, you know, or seeing something ugly things on social media. It was, of course, the day after someone almost lost their head, but they didn't. So there could have been some of that happening, some drama in the friendship sphere. So that sucks, but keep calm and carry on. Hello, my lovely Leos. Welcome to your end of July and September eclipse video. Okay, so you guys want to take a look at June of this year and take a look at what was basically going on at the end of June, because that Capricorn full moon in your 6th house opposing your self-sabotage. That was a big self-sabotage. This is a big self-sabotage bear trap time of the year for the Leos. And this season for you was it's extra potent. So in June, it T-squared Pisces in your 8th house. Ouch. That's like you expected support and it wasn't there. You expected, and this could even be something like you're having sexual issues. Okay, this could even be something like that. You have sexual issues or attraction issues or financial issues with other people. You know, just something that's like it's off. It's very, very off. Not what you thought. Also get tested, or I hope you got tested. Maybe keep getting tested. I don't know, but just be really, really, really careful, because there's something that you're trying to let go of. There's some baggage you're trying to let go of, and the baggage is connected to this disillusionment. Why were you disillusioned? Or what do you have hard feelings about that life is changing in such a way? Or the emotional truth of your daily life of this for you could have been your staff, your employees, your managers, immediate supervisors that are telling you something. Maybe they're revolting. Maybe they're saying whatever they're saying, right? and illuminating something for you about how you need to change, how you connect with others, what you share, if there's reciprocity, the equal give and take, and to overcome some kind of, it's either like a grudge or it's grudgy energy. It's or like bitter, resentful type energy. The sixth house, it's like a work house. Like you've been doing a lot of really hard grunt work since 2008. So, you know, this momentum in June and July that's either made you so hardened into this curmudgeon that just grinds and grinds and grinds and just, you know, barks at people that don't grind as hard as they do. And like, you know, it could have made you like that, or it could have made you efficient and the best department manager of staff people ever, and really organized and healthy and very well respected by anyone that you employ or that's under you, or even if you're not like a boss or anything, even just like your nail techs, your lawn mowers, the waiters, you know, like how do you treat those people? How do you, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, how are you approaching these attitudes and these, the baggages and all this stuff? So that was like, all of June could have been confusing for you, and not being able to see that it's your self-sabotaging tendencies that have contributed or manifested this cognitive dissonance, this break in expectation. Like, well, that's not what should be happening right now. You know, this can also just be a financial crisis, like some kind of very basic interpretation. Financially, you're out of some kind of, like, there's no alignment with what you're doing and the money. Like there's something weird, there's something off there. Anyway, end of July, second full moon, blue moon rolls in and makes a trine from the 12th house to the 8th house. That tells me that you're getting a bailout. Maybe someone's bailing you out financially, or you're traveling. Maybe you would be going far. So this is far travel. But there's potential to either be relief if you're able to set things back on track at the end of July, which is what I'm guiding you to do, or release, where the end of July is about letting something go, letting it go. It's gone. You lost it. Bye. Yuri was so funny. When I saw him once when he let everyone out of in the marketing office, I had my guy Yuri giving this big office meeting to everybody. It's not my meeting or anything, but like he would be talking to like everybody in all these offices. And then when he would like dismiss everybody, one day he was like, okay, bye. And he went like, and like everybody like walked out because everyone was gonna leave the little room anyway. And it just looked really funny to see all these. Why does this keep happening to me? Oh my God. And it just looked really funny to see him like, why did I bring that up? Anyway, so, okay. The September eclipse for you guys is going to be extremely, extremely, extremely financial. And it looks like wow. You can do it. You can do it. Do it. You can, I'm rooting for you, Leo. Okay, so it might take the rest of the year, and going in, it might take a year. It might take a full year. But you can make some really big, strong headway the rest of this year. When it comes to the financial stuff, financial strength, and this depends. So it could be that you have some sugar daddy that in June, July, things got kind of bungled in the relationship and you're not getting financed, and you work it out with them, and now you're the sugar baby that's living life in the fast lane. Or it could be that you and your boss, you and your colleagues and coworkers, whether it's your bosses above you and or the staff beneath you, having issues, you can figure it out, work it out, change, grow, evolve, you know, all the things, and then it's finally working smoothly. You can, but it's going to take some, like, you know, or it could be financial strength from a spouse. Maybe you're like, you know what, I'm not going to work anymore. I'm just going to, my spouse is going to support me. It's going to be all them, all them. And you have a spouse that's supporting you, so that you're doing something else. So interesting. Thank you for taking up the mantle of the Leo consciousness. I appreciate you. There, my lovely Virgo, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. So welcome, welcome to your blue moon, Pisces full moon lunar eclipse video. Okay, so June and July, what was going on? June was like, okay, so this is really, really, really big for you, because the eclipses are about to go into your sign. You are about to be one of the stars for the next year and a half. Right now, it's Aries and Libra, but starting September, your season, it's going to be you in Pisces. Well, it's going to be starting to transfer over to you in Pisces, and then it's going to fully transfer over. So we're getting a little taste of it September 17th, and we're getting a taste of that taste right now. So June had the full moon in Capricorn in your 5th house, opposing Cancer, and they made the T-square in your 7th house. So it's something about partnerships and people. It's not what you thought it was. Some of this was, it's not what, they're not who I thought they're not who I thought they were, and it's for the negative. And then some people, it's like, they're not who I thought they were, for the positive. So you're getting that at both. There was more so at the end of June, and you're wrapping that up in these relationships now at the end of July. And so you really, this is when you want to focus on the quality of these relationships and bake it into, just bake it into the time right now, because the end of July full moon in Capricorn, and yeah, we had a lot of drama to get through, blah, blah, blah. But this one, the sun in Cancer in your 11th house made a trine to the Pisces stuff. That tells me there was reason to be happy and hopeful about your future with someone, your future in partnership in general, and that there was something better opening up, not what you thought it was, but better, Now, the September 17th eclipse, the partial lunar eclipse, is beautiful. It really is. It's dreamy, it's stable, it's consistent. So that's why I'm saying, like, bake in, guys, back-to-back full moons in June and July should have told everyone to just be on their very best behavior, just all day, every day, from June the 1st to August the 1st. Like, for astrologers and for every one of us that like look at astrology, like Capricorn, Virgo is the sign of perfection. Okay, you guys are pretty perfect, but Capricorn is a close second. We are also extremely hard on ourselves and have very high standards. So this is like, partnerships meet your standards. Partnerships are, and that's why it's a good time to have the high standards now in June and in July, and really fight for it, advocate for it, and make the little changes that we got to make to go and do all the things. So this opposition, you're feeling great. The other person is also really happy too. Like, your partner, and these are all of your partners. Like, if you clean it up right now, Virgo, if you do like hard boundary with anyone, I don't know, whatever, out of your integrity, whatever, if you do hard boundary, and then really enriching closeness with the people that do pass, like pass the test of metal, I'll give you a clue. These are going to be people that are consistent, that are loyal, that are hardworking, all the best Capricorn attributes. The people you want to put up boundaries against and around, Virgo, are the negative Capricorn energies. Negative Capricorn is power hungry. It's power moves, like mad grabs for power. It's elitism. It's the, better than you-ness. It's the old boys club or the old girls club. It's that old diva behavior, or that old boy behavior. It's corruption. It's, all forms of like, okay, so like there's astrologers that have talked about how COVID was this mass, like orchestrated event. And I am not putting down an opinion either way. This is just an example. But some astrologers were saying that because of this epic constant stellium we had like in Capricorn at the time. And so some people were saying that the pandemic, that's what they were saying. That's what it was. I'm trying to think of like the buzzword for it, pandemic. So oh, I hope, okay. I don't know if the algorithm's gonna hit me or whatever, but so people were saying that, the astrologers were saying that because Capricorn, the dark side of Capricorn is like that, is like going to just use their power destructively and just kind of play with people and just like play with things like in like The Godfather, you know, like, and so you want to put up boundaries, hard boundary, or being like a sellout or something, like just going for something because it's like gonna be, you know, whatever. So you just hold your integrity, and you just like, if people are breaking up with you, if people are quitting, if people are leaving, if they're leaving, good. If you are the ones putting up the boundaries, even better. So you either want to have at the end of July a good attitude of, okay, they're breaking up with me, it must be rejection is protection, or you're the one to say, okay, we can't, this is not, I gotta boundary. Okay. So you do that now at the end of July. Like I said, it doesn't have to be big dramatic stuff. It's just thoughts and feelings and actions and who you're spending time with and what you're thinking about, where you're putting your focus. It doesn't have to be some big dramatic, you know, freaking, we want peace, you know what I'm saying? So peace and harmony. So this is the time to, like I said, just pull the energy back into the enriching relationships. And September 17th, 18th looks absolutely beautiful, like a blossoming of your relationships. You are directly plugged into this just by nature of it being the eclipse is going to be changing over. So you are coming into a karmic, something you deserved could be happening. So you earned it. You earned it. You deserved it, for not making a judgment for better or for worse, but you're also plugged into it positively by the grand Earth trine, Virgo. Okay, Sun, Uranus, Capricorn, Pluto in your 5th house. Like there's something optimistic and stabilizing, manifesting and concretizing, and it's fresh and new and different. And there's a lot to look forward to. So whatever the weirdness might be, June, July, you're at the very end of this moment, at the end of July, where you're wrapping it up. You're going to finish the changes, closing it out September to November, and this eclipse kicks it off beautifully for you. Lots to look forward to. Thank you for taking up the mantle in the Virgo area of consciousness. Appreciate you. Hello, my lovely Libras, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Welcome to comment to your blue moon Pisces eclipse video guide. This one's a little bit quieter for you. Okay, so June and July, take a look at what was happening. June could have been a little bit of a misfire or a misunderstanding or a miscommunication, or just something not really working out well when it comes to your daily life, your rituals, your routines, your attitude, how you live in the moment. Could have been depressing. Could have been just like the energy just gets zapped from you, just like pulled out from under you. There could have been issues with staff. There could have been issues with coworkers, managers, immediate supervisors, anyone that works for you. So, you know, anyone of service to you, agents, managers, nail techs, lawnmowers, anything like that. There was something that was like off. And these relationships, it's either like working from home that's kind of off, or it's your relationships with professional people that was affecting, that you're affecting these relationships very emotionally, and they're affecting you over emotionally because you've got this Pluto and Capricorn in the 4th house. So there's something. So June was like disorienting and kind of destabilizing, a little bit disappointing, you know, or a little bit just like off, like, okay, this isn't happening anymore, or I'm going to be here now, or I'm going to go there. You know, it's just something kind of weird. end of July, we've got through a lot of drama with a whole other new moon cycle, but it's a blue moon, another moon in Capricorn. And with this one making the sun, with the sun in your 10th, making the trine to the Pisces energy, this is really beautiful. This is really healing. This is like compassion and could go a long way to smoothing over if there was anything awkward or weird or that kind of came up in June, where it's like, okay, I misunderstood and I'm so sorry. You know, like it could be like that kind of a moment with you and this person or these people. That's what you want to focus on. That's really going to be the best you get if you want to make this work well for you in September, because the September 17th partial eclipse in Pisces. Okay, so I went through this eclipse pairing in 2020 in the 12th, 6th house axis. You are about to get so organized. Libra, you are about to get so, and I had a double because I'm a Capricorn Cancer ascendant. So I had them both. It was a lot. So this eclipse, it's going to be for you very quiet, much different, very, it's almost like maybe June, it's like, okay, well, this is changing. This is like, I'm not coming to the office anymore, or I'm not having this staff, this person on my staff anymore. End of July could be like, okay, well, I'm finding the right people, or now this could be healing an issue that was up in June, or it's a compassionate release. I feel like there's a better way to say that. Blessed ending. That's what it is. A blessed ending. Blessed. That's what we're going to say. Blessed. We're going to reframe that. Blessed ending at the end of July, Capricorn full moon. But honestly, like, how has this momentum been building since 2008? That's either made you into like a very curmudgeon-y little, you know, goblin emotionally, or it's turned you into the Sarah Connor of emotions. Like from Terminator 2, Judgment Day, where you're like, where you can handle, this is like the ultimate handle yourself energy. Like, can you go through the worst neighborhood in the worst town in America and confidently and know everything that's going to be coming up and have a remedy or a weapon or antidote or whatever in your little bag to deal with it, or using your words and talking your way out of it? Like, it's like, can you traverse your own emotional landscape? You know, so that's what Pluto's doing anyway. But the September 18th, so how you want to fool the energy is to as much healing and peace and understanding and connection. Like, this is Pisces energy. You got to connect. I feel like you could, like, maybe in July blow it, Libra, by like cutting yourself off from your feeling and cutting yourself off from compassion and empathy and like soul connections and real enrichment and real honesty, because you're going to do it in September anyway. That's going to take you out. Like, you're going to be, hopefully you're not going to be like sick or injured, but hopefully you're just going to be having like a spa moment, you know? The new moon in July the 5th, I looked in my stuff. It was all healthy stuff. It was healthy stuff. And I was making all these little treats, like healthy snacks. It's like, I made like 4 in a day. It was crazy. So, you know, it could just be like that. It could be like, just, you're at a med spa and you're just like hanging out. Like, it could be, depending on how this is, like how you're really infusing the energy at the end of July, it's going to give you like the reason why I'm doing this video, like the reason why the September 17th eclipse has already made its presence known to us with the Capricorn full moon. That's why I'm trying to like help you guys a little bit of some here. So that's what you want to do. Spiritual. You really want to go spiritual. And you're the other one that really should be on the Patreon, so that you get the information as soon as possible, so that you can acknowledge, internalize, alchemize, accept, modify your energies, your strategies, move forward, and you know what I'm saying, to get ahead of it, to get ahead of things. Okay, that's what I got. Love you, Libras. Thank you for taking up the mantle in the Libra area of consciousness. Appreciate you. Scorpios, you're almost done. I feel like you guys are just so okay, so welcome to the common, Scorps, to your blue moon and Pisces eclipse video. Okay, so for you Scorps, you have the June full moon in Capricorn in the 3rd house, T-squaring Neptune and Pisces in the 5th house. So for Scorps, that was maybe a little bit more sensitive for you because you were feeling probably unloved in some way, shape, or form, or unappreciated, or disappointed and let down by a lover or a creative project or someone you're dating, or just something, or got some weird news or saw something weird on social media that just irked you out. Like there was probably just something that just did not gel, did not feel good, did not sit right. Something just wasn't what you thought it was. Maybe you made something and you're like, this video sucks. You know, maybe you just like were not happy with something you were doing, or maybe your partner, maybe there's like sexual issues, your partner, you and your partner having sexual issues, or you have like issues with children or your small business. There could have been like issues with small business where you're like, oh, God damn, you know, there's just something, right? End of July, the other Capricorn full moon rolls in. It's a bigger deal for you because it's your mentality. So the momentum that's been building since 2008 for you has all been to change your mind. So something wasn't what we thought it was. The end of July's full moon made a trine, the sun in Cancer to the 5th house. So it's like, maybe you fixed it. Maybe you worked it out. You know, this was either spiritual, where you're like practicing acceptance and letting something go, maybe an expectation, or maybe you're doing inner child healing. That's really what I would recommend, to be honest. For Scorpios, for the last little bit of July, inner child healing. That's all you have to do. It's very simple. You ain't got to talk to nobody. You ain't got to do nothing. All you got to do is inner child healing. I have videos on it. I have a whole bunch of stuff. You can Google whatever. Like there's a lot out there. But that's all you need to do, because you just need to remember how absolutely precious you are, and but real, not because of what you look like, not because of who finds you sexually attractive at the moment, not because of what you can buy them, not because of what they can buy you, not because of what you can do for them professionally. You know what I'm saying? Like all this, like it needs to be real. It needs to be really, 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 really real. And that's going to set you up the very best for the September eclipse, because you could have a very special announcement creatively. Of course, people are going to be getting pregnant, but you don't have to do that. You can, and you'll be happy if you do, but it can also be something else. It could be a web series. It could be a puppy or a new kitten, you know, it's just joy. Like I wouldn't even care. It's bringing me joy. It's bringing me joy and happiness. It's beautiful. Friends are there for you. Friends are great. Friends are part of this too. You know, goals and dreams for the future. You're like, oh my God, it's going to be so great for me. I'm trying to really gas you guys up here if you have not noticed. Okay. You also have the grand Earth trine happening for you in your 3rd house, in your 7th house of partnership, in your 11th house of friendships. Make sure that's still on. Very good. So this is like, you love your friends, you love your people. There's great social media stuff, publications, like, you know, you and somebody else being creative, doing a dream together, you collaborating with someone else on a book and publishing it together, you and somebody else making a baby together, publishing it together. I'm just kidding. Whatever it is, though, it looks, you and your friends, you and your lovers, it looks fantastic. But you got to love yourself up right now. Gotta love it all. Fill your cup to the top. That's all you have to do. Not spending money, not through superficial things, okay? Not overeating, not the bonbons, not any of that stuff. Be real honest with you. I know you could be honest with yourself. So, is there anything else? That's it. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. If you're you and watching this, Scorpio Sun Moon Rising, thank you so much for taking up the Scorpio mantle in this lifetime. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Hello, Sagittarius, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Welcome to come into your end of July blue moon and Pisces eclipse video update. Okay, so you guys, okay, June full moon, T squared the Pisces in the 4th house. So something end of June fuck you up, okay? Something about the end of June, you were just you were just upset. Let's be real here. You were upset. You were upset. It just wasn't, something just wasn't what you thought it was. Maybe it's a family member, a living situation. Maybe that's very mundane for some people, but I feel like I know it for some Saggies, that it was like just anything in life that just hit you emotionally. Gut punch right there. Could have had to do with financial energy or with what you share with somebody else. So it's like, I thought you said that we were going to do this together. I thought you said you were going to let me pay for this. I thought you and your partner thought you made a plan with your partner to buy this house. They want to go buy another house, or they put an offer in for another house, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like there was a little bit like, you know, or you misbudgeted mortgage stuff, like you know, just like something weird, whatever. Okay. Or you could have been really sad about family history, family karma. Something could have upset you to make you think about it. End of July, another full moon in Capricorn, but this one, the sun in Cancer in the 8th house, trines the Neptune energy. So after all the drama of July, you've changed how you feel, Saggies. So the hard feeling at the end of June that upsets you, you're like, oh, this burns, I don't like it. You can heal it at the end of July. Something's changed. Like I said, you've changed. So you're growing. I love Sagittarius energy. I feel like that's my bias, is that when I meet a Sag, I just automatically give them way more credit than they haven't earned any credit with me at all. But I give them all the credit. Because in my head, I'm like, oh my God, I know I could ask you about things and you're just gonna know so much about so much. And like, but you know what I'm saying? But like, I gotta slow my roll a little bit. But you can really, really, really feel so good at the end of July when you allow the bigness of your emotions to continue to be informed by your values, and vice versa. Because of the Capricorn stuff, Capricorn at the end of Pluto, at the end of Capricorn, your 2nd house of money, finances, and values. Okay. So all these things are like interconnected for you, connecting with your emotional seat of security, your values, other people's energies, and how they're commingling, how you feel about all these things, you know, all that stuff. So your eclipse, September 17th, and as they kind of shift into the Pisces Virgo axis, you're about to step into a very potentially life-changing like year and a half or a couple years for Saggies. It's about to be like all the structures in your life could change. I see professional changes. I see home family changes, partnership, relationship changes. So the partial eclipse is going to jumpstart those transitions. And we're getting the whiff of it right now. I don't know why I'm doing that. We're getting because this full moon at the end of July, the eclipse is like, hey, I'll see you soon, buddy. You know, it's so that's what it's like. It's like the presence has already made itself kind of like known. So we're getting the whiff of it right now. That's why I'm doing this video. So for you guys, this is you feeling really, really good. You're feeling amazing. This eclipse, partial lunar eclipse, is in your fourth house of home and hearth and kith and kin. And it's with Saturn, it's with Neptune retrograde. You got the professional house in Virgo lit up like a Christmas tree. So I just see, Saggies, you have a potential, whatever you felt raw about in June, you're healing it all up by the end of July. That's what I'm recommending for you, to bake it in, bake, 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 bake. Bake it in. Natalie, bake what in? The emotional and cerebral connection with values, with your values and yourself, and how they connect to other people and their values, and how you connect with other people in general, how you let go of baggage, how you let go of family karma, how you let go of family baggage. So you do that now at the end of July and just I would say this is such a powerfully energetic time that you could actually make your eclipse better for you emotionally and professionally by how much baggage you let go of right now at the end of July. And it's like, there's big things and everything, Sag. So I swear to God, if you just let go, test yourself, go to the limit. That's what I do. I take all my own advice. I will emotionally go to the limit of how much I can let go with something, with someone or whatever, the situation, whatever. And I go until I feel this is going to be a little bit different for you, but resentment is where your boundary is when you're doing too much for other people or whatever. But if you got to let go of baggage, you maybe already feeling resentment. So how do you know how far you're going to go? For you, I mean, I would need to look at your chart. I would need to like talk to you, but the best I can do for you is working backwards. What upset you the end of June? What was like bothersome, or what was like irking, or what was not sitting right with you? That's where you should start. And like let go of the things, like let go of and we're all being honest with ourselves. We all know right from wrong and like all that stuff. So the more emotional baggage you can offload at this time, the weight, let it go, is giving you a better, fuller partial eclipse in the middle of September 17th. And this is when you want to do it. You never want to manifest in eclipse season. It's too crazy. The volatile energy is too volatile. So this is a good time to do it, to try to steer that big energy. We want you to feel as big and beautiful and bright and solid as possible. And that's what you have available to you should you take the good guidance of the day. And thank you so much, Saggies, for taking up the Sagittarius mantle of consciousness. I appreciate you. Here we are, Capricorns. We made it. Capricorn sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Welcome to the end of July. Blue moon, mid-September, partial lunar eclipse in Pisces guidance video. This is all about us, Capricorn, okay? This really is. It really, 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 really is. This is the moment when every single Capricorn has to be the best. And when I say the best, I mean on your best behavior, because the old world ways of doing things are over. They're crumbling and they're over. So it will be the Capricorns that can be trusted with power, that are trusted with the power. So for us, this Capricorn full moon, the one at the end of June, was in our sign. So it's our full moon. So it's going to be relationships, June and July. But the T-square to Pisces in our third house, that was when I got the extremely disorienting news that I was no longer going to be doing what I was doing all day, every day for the past like 6 or 7 months, that I have to wait a year to open my office. That was a communication that, not what I thought. Not what I thought at all. So that was disorienting. I don't know what it was for you guys, but that was like the beginning of, that was all June. That's how it all went down. So it's our third house of communications, but also mentality and the mind and communication and how we're thinking. So it's also neighborhoods and, you know, neighbors and the local community, local areas, that kind of thing. So there was that. And then the end of July's full moon in Capricorn at the very end, the sun in Capricorn, sun in Cancer made a trine to that Pisces energy. Oh, it healed it up so nice. There was another person, or there's other people. Actually, for me, it was healing my relationship with my audience, with my public, because I had made sacrifices to make the marketing more of a priority. And, you know, so for me, it was like, okay, here we go. We're back on YouTube, back on TikTok. Here we go. But the full moon making, with the sun in Cancer making the trine, lovely communications with another person. And for us, really big emotional truths, June and July, about ourselves, about our relationships, about our lives, about where we're going, about what we're thinking, what we're doing. I got back into screenwriting and telekinesis after in June at some point. But this is definitely the end of July. This is such the most important time for Capricorns. Oh my God. We made it, we did it. So it's like this is like, honestly, the momentum's been building since 2008 in changing us and making us like the very best that we can possibly be. So that's all you really have to do. I feel like for Capricorns, there's no more cramming for the test. Like you either are it or you're not it. Since 2008, like we've either been like compacted into like a curmudgeon-y little goblin thing, you know, like you know what I'm saying? Like just really like we're just really ugly people, like on the outside. Maybe I don't even want to say on the outside, but like we're like ugly inside. Like we're just bitter, angry, depressed, pessimistic, disempowering, greedy, stealing other people's power, and sabotaging, and corruption, and nepotism, and all the, you know, it's either like all the old world things that are dying. So people are either like all like that, all the Capricorn sun moon risings, or like all the Capricorn sun moon rising astrologers are probably going to be more on the higher side of this because we know better. But we're it now. Okay, when I mean it, we are polished instruments of integrity, honesty, self-possession, poise, self-control. Okay, it's the executive. It is the sign of the executive. It's the top of the natural chart. This is the most, this is like the president. This is public office. This is notoriety. This is the boss. This is the executive. This is the CEO. This is the most visible sign. It's the most public. There's only two signs that wear crowns. It's Leo and it's Capricorn. The Leo crown is visible. Everybody can see those damn jewels. Okay, everybody can see it. It's like blazingly bright light crown, jewel, freaking thing, all the things. Capricorn's crown is invisible. It's felt but not seen. Okay, so that's really what it is, Capricorn. And at the end of July, some of you might need to straighten your crowns. And even if you don't, you polish it up and look your brightest. This is when we do our walkout song, okay? This is literally it. Like, I'm telling you, you're either it and you can embody the positive Capricorn archetype, or you're not it. And this last bit is gonna just, the rest of this year is gonna show you a lot. Show those Capricorns a lot about what real power is. The good Capricorns share power. Bad Capricorns take power, or like, you know, that mentality, curmudgeonly mentality. So it's not just the trine. It's not just the trine that's helping you out. There was a lot of drama to get to the end of July. So this is when you want to put as much energy into positive thinking, being honest with yourself, not deluding yourself with Pisces in the third house, like to be just very honest with yourself and stay very truly, honestly connected. This is emotional. Pisces is deep, very deep. If you can't go deep, you're gonna spiral. You're gonna self-sabotage. Things are not gonna go your way, and you're gonna be trying to force your will on the world. You're gonna keep trying to force the world to do what you want it to do, and you're gonna keep blowing yourself up. Okay, that should have happened already since 2008, over and over again. You being shown that you cannot do that, and to go for spiritual power first and foremost. So that's what you want to do. You want to lean into that spiritualized thinking, because we have Pisces on the 3rd house, and we have Saturn helping us. So that's really great for mental health. Where is it? I recommend for you guys what helped me mentally with the Saturn. This has been a mental health thing for us, you guys. This ain't no joke. Like, it's, but what helped me is this stoicism, is daily stoic journaling. Every single day connecting with a different virtue, every single day reflecting, every single day thinking about, like, just, I recommend it. I highly recommend it. Maybe I'll do a video on it. So that's what you want to do, Capricorn, regardless. So let's say like you're either going to be straightening your crown, you're going to be doing deep spiritual, mental, psychological, communications related work to yourself and or others, connecting with other people, writing, any kind of blog posting, or anything like that, which can then result in an absolutely gorgeous, beautiful peach of a partial lunar eclipse for us in the middle of September in our 3rd house. That's good news. That's really good news. That's amazing news. That's some kind of closure or conclusion or contract or deal or agreement or promise, or like there's something like that could be a little bit bigger of a deal, where it's actually something in writing, because this is that axis for us. So this could be good, like, publicity. This could be very creative writing. This could be wonderful communication and connections with gurus and mentors and guides and teachers, and marketing too. 9th house is marketing, can be marketing, but that's like bigger publishing. So that's like big marketing. That's not like dinky little marketing. That's like bigger marketing. So, so it looks like it can go. What I like is the mental relief. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like it's spiritual. It's, dreamy, but grounded and realistic. And we have the benefit of the grand Earth trine in our sign. It's just beautiful. Pluto is back in Capricorn. So I'm telling you guys, June the 21st was the milestone moment and it was a hard milestone, because it's like, that's not what I thought it was. June was a milestone moment, but that's why we do astrology, to see the forest through the trees and to look at everything all at once. Thanks, Sag. So by the time we get to the end of July, we're closing it, we're wrapping things up to do with that, where it's like the second act. It's the shoe drops, a blue moon. It's a blue moon. Now I'm really like, okay, learning thing, really, really, I'm like, wow. So this blue moon, I slept on it. I don't know why I did, but I did. Here we are. And, wrapping things up to correct what's that line in the crown? I wrote it down. The writing is so good. Allow me to disabuse you of that illusion. So it's like, allow me, like if I'm talking to myself, allow me to disabuse you of this illusion, Natalie. It's not meant to be this way. Look at this way. Look at it this way. You got to talk to yourself. This is like healthy inner self-talk. Stoicism. Highly recommend. So the grand Earth trine, 1st house, 5th house, 9th house. That's so creative. So you're meeting people. You're creatively collaborating. You are creating things and publishing them. This could be the time for Capricorns, where June and July is a course correction. It's a track change. And then September, October, November is the blooming and fruiting and, you know, closing out of a bigger transformation, manifestly so, where we're really seeing, honestly, Capricorns could really be in full, coming into some full glory by the end of the year. I'm excited. Very, very excited. So recap, cap recap is going to be for end of July for us. Mentality, positive thinking, spiritualized thinking, being honest with ourselves, developing the intuition, technical intuition. This is, we have Saturn here. This isn't like, how do I put this? Like, so this would be like, instead of just saying, oh, I'm getting a download, and not knowing what it means, the correction would be, okay, when you choose a thought to think, that's your conscious mind, 5% of your mind. When you receive a thought, when it comes up like a bubble bursting at the surface of the water, that's your subconscious. That's your download. That's coming from your higher self. So you want to be careful at the end of July. Don't gaslight yourself about your intuition, but don't choke it out either. That's what you want to focus on. And being honest with yourself is going to help you figure out where those lines are. And if this is less where you're having to, like, let's say you're just like super happy, like, let's just say you're super happy. Let's say you had, you know, there's nothing to like aggressively change your mind about, then this is simply just enjoying the peace of mind, maybe a writing project, maybe a relationship with a sibling, maybe some kind of neighborhood project, maybe, no, it's going to be something else. So be creative, take a look at what was going on in the Pisces area of your life, June and July, and that's where you want to home in on Capricorn to infuse it with positivity and, I would say, responsible, ethical spiritualization. I would have never chosen this for myself, like consciously, but like I really do like the Saturn and Pisces in my third house now, because it's like the perfect fusion between spirituality and mental health, spirituality and realism, spiritual practice and like humanism. Like it's really, like I'm telling you guys, with the telekinesis, I've had to like fit all of it into my head, and it's just been hard. So we can do it. We're doing it. Capricorn, oh my God, like this is the time. Like, I don't care what's going on in your life, you have to be positive. Otherwise you will cement yourself into like a dementor, or like a, you know, like a shell of yourself, or like a crusty little crumb of darkness, you know, like just, you know, so just choose to be positive no matter what. I love you guys. May the force be with us all. Aqua, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs, welcome, welcome to your blue moon and Pisces eclipse video. So June and July, what was that like for you guys? I'm an Aquarian moon, so it was a thing. The Capricorn full moon T-squared the Pisces energy for us. So, okay, the Capricorn stuff with the 12th house, it's a big deal because it's our self-sabotage. It's the house of secrets, sorrows, and self-undoing. So the T-squared to the Pisces energy in the second house, that could have been a hit to our money, to our self-confidence, self-esteem, self-value, sense of self-worth, or it could have made an unhealthy connection to eating, like subconscious bad eating habits. So for instance, I'm just realizing, like, as I'm looking at this and talking about it too, that I did realize that I was like inflamed. I was like, in June and July actually, where I had to like figure out why I was like, it was off. And so I had to like stop eating certain foods. And so I'm feeling better now. But like, anyway, wrapping up something at the end of July, that was the milestone. At the end of June, Aquarius, the milestone moment with the money, with the values, with the diet, with the teeth, health of the teeth. And that's kind of like where the turning point was. So you went through all the drama of July. Now we're at the end of July, and we're on the second full moon, finishing this up. We're like, and honestly, Aquas, this is a mental health thing. Like, it just is. It's spiritual. It's mental health. It's very quiet for you. You've got to let go of some fears, let go of some baggage, let go of ancestral karma, like letting go of a blind spot, seeing the blind spot because of how your money is, seeing the blind spot because of where your self-esteem is, seeing the blind spot because of what turned out not to be the case or not to be what you expected June and July, so that you can make the change, so that you can alchemize it out of your existence so that you don't hurt yourself anymore. Okay. So for me, it was the marketing office in June. I had healthy self-esteem, but that was a financial change for sure. There was that. And then the end of July. So there you go. So for me, it was like the emotional fullness. That's what I wanted to connect on. The emotional fullness and emotional truth. It brought a lot of things to light. And it could have, for Aquas, brought up hidden enemies in June. People that are against you and don't want to see you do well, don't want to see you happy, don't want to see you prosper financially. La-di-di, la-di-da, so boring. Oh my God, it's boring. But at the end of July's full moon, that was all the end of June. At the end of July's full moon, that is when we had the sun in Cancer making a trine energy, beautiful, benefic energy to the second house. So at the end of July, there's healing financially or with the self-esteem. There's something getting back on track in that area. And there's something very helpful with, like, I don't know if it's like staff or your daily rituals and routines helping you to like improve your income, or people working for you, agents, managers, immediate supervisors, or some health issue that you're getting under control and it's helping you feel better about yourself, or it's just helping to increase your bottom line, making more money. It's leading into, okay, so you want to just focus on your self-esteem and the money at the end of July, Aquas. September 17th, that partial lunar eclipse is financial for you. Like, this can be a big payout. This can be a bonus. This could be where something has you feeling on top of the world. This could be where you and another person, because of the Virgo energy, and this is where the eclipses are going to be moving in for you. So your financial energy, your self-esteem is about to be like the main focus for you over the next year and a half. We're going to get to it in a later video. But at the eclipse, there's something very highlighted between you and somebody else and what you are sharing with somebody else and how it's going so well. But that can only happen if you have good self-esteem right now. That's can only happen if you have the good self-esteem right. So that's why I'm bake it into end of July, self-esteem, 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 good spending habits. Don't waste your money on stupid stuff, okay? Because it's going to lead to some kind of big moment for you in the middle of September 17th. So if you're irresponsible, if you're not doing it right now, they could cut you off. Someone can cut you off. That could be the end of an income stream for you, Aquas, that eclipse. If you're out of integrity, if you don't have good values, that could be the end of something financially, or you can make a big purchase. But if you're doing this right, and if you're taking the guidance and you're doing healthy self-esteem and you're managing your money responsibly, then this could be where you have earned a prize. You have earned a bigger line of credit. You have earned, you know what I'm saying? Or if you put in the work at the end of July to increase your self-esteem, maybe that was an issue, to have earned a sense of security and stability at the, in the fall. The Earth trine for you, for us, 12th house, 8th house, 4th house, very psychic. I personally am really excited for telekinesis for that, for the end of the year and for the eclipse season that we're going to be coming into for my own private reasons. But this looks like, I just see you like having, maybe you're getting support from, I don't want to, I need to, I'm not going to say sugar daddy again, but support from behind the scenes. Or you are psychologically, see, these are very psychic. So if you're doing psychic stuff, it could be success, psychic success. If you are doing money stuff, this could be where you're sharing more money or pulling money out, or there's something financial happening with your family members, people you're living with. So this is going to go one way or the other for you. So I'm helping you steer it to the positive. Okay. All right, guys, I love you. Take very good care. Appreciate you. Hello, Pisces, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Welcome, willkommen to your end of July and middle of September, September 17, Pisces partial lunar eclipse. I don't know what this is. Video update. Okay, so June and July, you guys had the Capricorn full moon happening in your 11th house of friends, groups, and associations. So June was a crunchy month. And that's because you were blindsided. You had the biggest blindside of all. You and Virgos, I would say. There was something happening where you were seeing something. There was a big emotional truth about a friend or a group or an association or a goal or dream of yours. And either you're seeing that differently, they're showing you something different. You are changing, you're realizing that you have like a different connection or different relationship with a goal or with a friend or with your friendship circle or with an older sibling or some kind of sibling or something. And it left you maybe a little confused. Blindsided, definitely. Maybe also kind of confused because the T-square, it's almost like there was an emotional truth in like the goal or the friend or whatever, but then there was the sun in your 5th house of like dating, sex, romance, your lover, children. And so you could have just, this could have been when some Pisces, sun, moon, risings could have been really confused dating someone, but then a friend expresses interest in you and you're like, oh my God, like, damn, you know, it could be something like that. And you're like, oh shit, like, what do I do now? But you know, like it's just what it was. So that was June. July's full moon in Capricorn, another full moon in Capricorn, the blue moon. We're finishing the job, okay? This one, the sun in your 5th house made a trine to your Pisces 1st house. So I see that things got back on track with your lover, with your creative passion project, with your sex life, with your maybe clarity, maybe. There was a lot of drama to get to the full moon at the end of July. It's a little bit harder to read because when it's the 1st house, if you're like a Pisces sun, it's your like career, your direction, your life purpose with your ascendant, anything important to you in your life. If it's your moon, it's your emotional reality. So I feel like it's what you want. You know, like astrology, it's not like something's going to happen or not happen. It's like, this is the condition, this is the weather, but what do you want? Do you want to go swimming? Do you want to go for a nature walk? Do you want to stay inside? Do you want to whatever, you know, like build a sandcastle? Like what do you want? You know, so you are at this crossroads, June and July, about what you want, what's important to you. And it's like these other things kind of like influencing you and not really, but you're like, oh shit, that's, you know, it's like confusing. So it's like the friends, the groups, associations, the goals, what you want, what's happening, what's this, what's that. And then it's lovers and people you're dating and the issue of children. So it's like all this is like swirling in your little fish tank. And it's like, you could have had the difficulty with clarity these 2 months. But the best you're getting though, like at the end of July, the sun making the trine could be where you are like over the weekend feeling really optimistic and impassioned and in love. This could be very much like big love for the Pisces. So over the weekend, the 20th and the 21st, that was the emotional truth of it. That's really where you felt intuitively, like where you stand, where you really, you know what I'm saying? So that elusive clarity about the feelings that you maybe were missing because you were so blindsided in June should be coming through by the end of July. And that's going to help you orient where you take life next. Because the full moon in June was the milestone, like you reached a place, you know, you reached a place. The end of July's full moon is wrapping it up. It's like, okay, like you've been there. Okay, you got to a place at the end of June. Now I'm here. And you've been here all of July, but it's been crazy because the astrology's been it's been crazy. So you're there, you've been there, but you're like, I still can't make my mind. I'm still trying to like figure it all out. I'm still trying to like decide. I'm still trying to like, you know, but the 21st, you should have had some kind of emotional clarity about where, but then Monday happened and the sun opposed Pluto and it was all this big thing. So it's like how I'm going to guide you here is to cultivate as much trust in yourself as possible. And again, the benefit that you have right now actually is Saturn in your sign. It's making life feel heavier and harder and more responsible, with much less leeway, with much less slack, with much less like leg room to move around and make mistakes and say things off the cuff and do things that you are going to want to take back. It's been harder for you. Can't do that as much. You can't say something off the consequences, you know? So you've been a little bit like, cannot make a wrong move, cannot step out of line, cannot, you know, or maybe you were able to just kind of, you know, raw dog it for a little while. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you really are with the Saturn energy. You guys are under the like of Saturn, because Saturn, so Saturn. So it's just making you more responsible, more mature, realistic. So for this time, it's so emotional for you guys that I feel like you got to know how you feel by now, by the end of July, where you stand with your friends, your groups, your associations, your mental health, spiritually. There could have been things like confusing, where you stand with staff, with your daily life, your daily routines. You're like this whole week for you. So the end of July, you really want to bake it in now based on your preferences, on what you want. And I would say, go for the gold. You're not dreaming big enough. You're not reaching high enough. And that's what that told you at the end of June. And it might not have looked that way. It might not have looked that way, but it's like, whatever was disappointing, you're right. It could have been better. Things could have been, you know, things could have gone a different way, even better, whatever. So, but you know, you're really feeling it by the end of July. So use the last little bit of the end of July, last little bit to set things the way you want them in your life. And you want to remember that you are held to the higher standard, but I want you to visualize it like matching your dreams. Matching your dreams. And for you, the Capricorn 11th house, like, you're either going to cement yourself as like this little curmudgeon, little goblin, little bitter little goblin that sees the ceiling of, they always see the limit of where they have to stop, of where they cannot go. Or you have crony friends that are corrupt and crummy crony friends. But what you want to do at the end of July right now is emotionalize yourself and infuse yourself with spiritual passion to sustain the discipline of reaching for something more for yourself, whether that's better friends, and this is a thing for you. So what could be blowing up June and July, and it could really blow up with the eclipses September through November, is if you've been choosing your friends, groups, and associations based on their money and their status and superficial things. If they're not good people, guys, there's so many wealthy people that are good people too. There's so many. There's a lot of good, wealthy people out there. You don't, okay? So like, for you guys, if you think you have to be a crummy, curmudgeon-y little goblin to get anywhere or make a dream come true, that's wrong. And you're going to really see that. end of July, September to November, your eclipse has you feeling, and I'm steering you this way so that you have a great eclipse, because the eclipse you're having, you're going to be the star of the show. You and Virgos the next year and a half. You're going to be the one for a massive development and like an overhaul. You're going to get a huge overhaul. This is like a foreshadowing of the next like two to 3 years for you, Pisces. You guys are going to be almost unrecognizable, and it's just starting. So, okay, where was I? So the eclipse for you in September 17th, it's your eclipse. It's a full moon in your sign, and you could feel very accomplished September 17th. Like you could feel fulfilled. I could see some Pisces feeling like, I did it, I have it, I want it, I procured it, I sold it, I bought it, I have it. You know what I'm saying? Like I did it, I own it. You know, there's something very personal here. It is also connected with the partnerships. So it's a fulfillment for you after you've already been focusing on partnerships. So you can be especially proud of yourself and of your partnerships at that time, where you're like, I'm so glad I went with my heart in July. There's going to be things, you guys, where we're going to say it started in 2024. That summer 2024, that's when it all started. So what else do I want to say for Pisces? So yeah, you have the grand Earth trine happening in the 11th house, the 3rd house, the 7th house. So the friendships, the groups, the associations, the partners, it's beautiful. They're great. It's all working well. It's all working cohesively. And it's like a well-oiled machine. You have the great people. There's a wonderful flow, like airflow. There's a wonderful airflow with your relationships, with the communications, with how you're treating each other and talking to each other and working together to either achieve a common goal, whether that's you and another person, you know, getting married, having children, starting families, moving across the country, starting businesses, you know, whatever it is. Okay. So to get there, to get to the happy spot, because the sad spot, like if there's Pisces not having a great full moon, partial lunar eclipse, September 17th, they're going to feel, it's going to be more of a spotlight on their shortcomings. And you may feel like it's really glaringly obvious to you all the things wrong with you. And you could feel like, you know, you could feel like I have so much to work on and I'm so discouraged. I'm so silly. I'm too silly. Okay. Thank you so much for taking up the Pisces mantle of consciousness. May the force be with us all, and I love you, Pisces.